Hey guys, welcome to Nerdarchy for Nerds by Nerds. I'm Nerdarchist Ryan, and I'm joined by
Dave.
Ted.
And today we're just going to give a quick overview of the D&D Live at Meltdown Comics.
Almost like a video response.
Almost like a video response.
You guys can head down to the description below to gain weekly tips from Nerdarchy, as well as learn how to game with Nerdarchy through the Nerdarchy, the newsletter.
So, in that hour and 40-some minutes of content, there was just, a stream, a Gatling gun of RPG announcements for the entirety of pretty much late summer into fall of all kinds of craziness in development, and we got to see a sneak peek at all of it.
All of it. Well, it's, and they also expanded out to other creators and companies that aren't necessarily directly involved with Wizard of the Coast, so that was kind of interesting. And to me, it's just like Wizard of the Coast just went from having an online presence to just turning up to 11 overnight.
They got super experimental, or talking about things that are pretty experimental for, an old sort of frumpy RPG company that it seems like they're starting to now get with the times, which is fantastic.
Well, I mean, they got really lean and creative in the release of 5th edition and the way they've been doing the products, but they've really been doing some innovative stuff, and this is just an extension of that, and I'm really impressed. They really seem to be trying to go, okay, how can we keep D&D viable?
You know what it makes me think of is it's almost like they're a tech startup. The way that they're trying all these little things to just test it out, and then they're like, all right, this is the thing that people really want. Let's go full bore into it.
So I will say this though, the actual execution of what they just did was excellent. Mm-hmm. The build up, I was not impressed with, because nothing they did, I kept seeing live from Meltdown stuff pop up, Matt Mercer, blah blah blah.
There wasn't enough. There weren't enough teaser trailers for it or something.
The teasers weren't strong enough to make me want to click and open it up and see what it was.
Right. Yeah. They were just relying on their name and not giving enough. They should have shot little video segments or something to put it up.
Images, pictures,
pictures.
With
smoke signals.
With as big as the name D&D is, or Wizards of the Coast, it's been around long enough. It's a staple.
And that is how companies
go out of the business. That's how they go out of the business. Yeah.
I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm saying that's possibly their perception.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter what they do. They're still the top of the RPG chain, at least for now.
Back to previous statement, because businesses that were on the top, they become the horse and buggy.
I'm not saying what they're doing is wrong. I'm just saying that's possibly their perception.
Yeah, the event was great. That's the worst part about it was they had a great event that they didn't do enough to capture. The images from Force Grey, if they used some of the art and gave teasers of that, or. They already had the art assets. Yeah. What the fuck? So anyway, let's go across this point by point. First, you had the announcement of our favorite unreliable Baldur's Gate narrator, Volo. So Volo's Guide in Forgotten Realms,
which is awesome, and there's going to be the limited edition copy that you can only get at your local gaming store.
Which this is really awesome. Wizards of the Coast, see, I see them being up against this wall called Amazon, where you have to put your products on Amazon or you're just going to suffer. And by doing that, you have to increase your price point, because Amazon is going to cut your throat when it comes to the cost. They tell you what it costs, for the most part.
And then you have to deal with, from there, your retail pricing now is basically boutique pricing, because it has to be to account for the Amazon problem.
Well, what I was going to say is Ted actually knows this because he deals with this, because he works in the publishing industry.
Yes.
We don't need to go any further because it's really boring. Part of the publishing industry. But what they have done is they do the early releases to your flags, and now they're doing this limited edition, and they even said in the video, we're testing it out, we're going to see how it works.
If you guys like it, there'll be more.
And really, this is for you guys that flags. This is your chance to support them.
Yeah, and buy the crap out of this exclusive edition cover of Volo's Guide.
Honestly, I'm not really the guy that would have done that normally, but the art is really cool. They said the name of the artist. I don't remember. It was it wasn't a person's name. It was
it almost sounded like the name of a graffiti artist or something
exactly.
like that.
But
it looked like a cool design. I think it might have been the same person. There was these exclusive T-shirts that you could only get by following this thing and going going to this event, and it might have been the same designer. These really badass Dungeons and Dragons T-shirts they could literally only get by jumping through these hoops to get.
Yeah, I like crammed this video in like Thursday night while I was working, and I do road construction, so I was like, I have to focus on what I'm doing to make sure I don't kill anybody.
Not die yourself. Yeah, all kinds of things.
I'm pretty safe in the truck. It's the people around me.
Okay, so nobody died.
Nobody died.
Spoiler alert. So we also had the announcement of Storm King's Thunder. So that just sounds a freaking epic giant story.
Yeah, it's a nice adventure. It's going to be designed
homage to Against the Giants. I mean, we did a video on this anyway, so you guys can check that out.
Yeah, you'll be able to eventually find links to all of those things below, I'm sure. All the things. So Storm King's Thunder sounds really cool. It's got some minis associated with it, and then also Neverwinter Nights is going to expand and take some of that story arc and incorporate it into their gameplay as well.
Right.
So
Premier Worldwide, I believe, is the name of the company that does Neverwinter's Night, and they actually reached out to us months ago and gave us like free keys to play their game and do stuff. And I also seen that DMG Info has been pushing it a little bit, but we just haven't made the time to actually play it, and so we'd have to figure out timing, whether you guys even care to watch it, if that's something you're
if you're super into it, by all means, like, shout it in the comments and like encourage other people who might want to see that to check it out, and like they can shout below in the comments as well.
Like, would you guys want to play that game with us if we did it?
Maybe we could figure out like a Nerdarchy server and like have our own like pocket dimension of Nerdarchists. Possibly.
So it's something we're thinking about. Again, it's everything we do is just another time investment, and it's figuring out
what you guys want to see most too.
What you guys want to see, and how do we figure it into our lives? Like until we figure out how to do some cloning or something,
or figure out Nerdarchying full time. Which
we need that potion from Harry Potter.
Yeah,
indeed.
We need Hermione.
We do, Miss Granger. So there's also Fantasy Grounds that there will be doing likely some support as they did with Curse of Strahd. That Against the Giants will have some features within Fantasy Grounds. So that was announced.
Yeah, and it was kind of cool too that the owner of Fantasy Grounds was actually someone just using it, and he really liked it. So it was just like. So I bought it. And I made it better.
Yeah, he enhanced it. The thing that I'm not like less enthusiastic about. So they had this woman from this virtual reality company on, and
I forget her first name, but it was something Fang.
And she couldn't even pronounce R.A. Salvatore's name correctly, so she kept saying Salvatore, which, I mean, like...
She made it fancy.
Well, I mean, like, so that's probably how you properly Italianize it and de-Anglicize it or whatever. But, I mean, anybody who actually knows who he is, like, knows that he goes by Salvatore.
He goes by Bob.
Yeah, or just Bob.
You can't fancy up someone who goes by Bob.
Bob, exactly.
But that being said, right, so... The execution of it isn't that great yet. It's a new technology. It's a small company. But some of the things they're doing with it is kind of cool. I mean, the fact that they had RA on there and did a live chat with the fans, and then during that, like, they were able to sword fight. He was able to sword fight with his fans, and then throw a virtual after party afterwards. Like, okay, so the graphics and whatever.
It's like crappier graphics, way crappier graphics than Minecraft. Like, the characters don't even really look like they have much sense of gravity. Like, they look like they kind of float, and the way the sword's handled, it's not even like really wielded from the character. It looks like it floats in front of the character. I'm like, all right, unless it's a dancing weapon, which it's not, because they didn't wield it for any rounds, like, that's some BS right there. But anyway, like, I want to see the technology catch up to be something close to looking like maybe like World of Warcraft or Neverwinter Nights level engine type of stuff. As it is now, like VR in its current state, like certain types of games it would probably work for, but like for a high fantasy game, right now it's like got a decade to evolve.
Well, honestly, I don't think it's supposed to be like that. Like, I don't think that's how they're using it right now. It's more like a chat room.
Yeah, no, that's really it's like playing The Sims or something like that. Like just being
like you're VRing yourself, not the character.
Yeah.
So that you can all sit around the virtual table. And play the game.
They kind of look like the Wii Me characters. Like you get the avatar in Wii. It's kind of like that, and like that level of animation was not very good. So. Yeah,
but the dice chandelier, man, the dice chandelier.
Man, whatever.
You gotta like a dice chandelier.
And also too, like if I'm in a goddamn virtual setting, I want to roll dice. I just want to swing and hit things. Like, I don't want to pick up dice and roll them. I would much rather like wield the sword myself, beat people with lit torches, whatever it's gonna be.
But that means it wouldn't work with D&D very well at all. That. It's completely, it's like what you want and what they did are completely two different things.
Yeah, or I don't know. But
it's more like a chat room.
It is more like
it's a virtual chat room.
It is a virtual chat room that you can hang out in virtual space. Other exciting announcements after I rant on the VR. Force Grey.
Nice. Blackstaff has put together his special forces of Waterdeep.
Yeah.
The Black Ops. All black bag stuff. We're not going to talk about, and what goes on. Some specialists, and it's going to be the next Matt Mercer game.
Yeah. So Matt Mercer was running this. You had a cast of, let's see, that's Utkarsh. Budkar.
You just use his name for the game.
Just sounds like a D&D character.
It already sounds like a D&D character.
So I imagine an Indian gentleman or maybe Pakistani.
My apologies if we mispronounced the name.
Yeah.
We're horrible at that.
I'm also going to try...
But we're doing you a favor because we're having someone other than me pronounce it.
Right, we have Brian Posehn. Oh, Brian Posehn. Brian Posehn. Ashley Johnson. Chris Hardwick, Shelby Farrow, and Jonah Ra. So...
And they all wanted to know if you were hungry.
Yeah, and they all wanted to know if you were hungry, and why did they spend the time reading the note when the person just said what the note says. Yeah. So no, that running gag was pretty funny.
Yes.
Brian Posehn is a comedian that I've been aware of since Mr. Show, and he was freaking hilarious on that. He did a thing called Nerd Poker back in the day,
and now he's playing a one-eyed female bard.
Yeah, but
I think
Nerd Poker, he was playing a Goliath barbarian. Amarthaman, I believe was the character's name, but it was like him and a bunch of comedians playing 4th edition Dungeons and Dragons. I remember one of the dudes playing had a character named L. Ryan, it's like L. Ron Hubbard, the joke. So that was pretty hilarious. But then Ashley Johnson, you might remember her from early Critical Role, and I think she likely guested and came back there. Chris Hardwick, the Nerdist, and the Talking Dead, and all that. Shelby Farrow, Jonah Ra, and Utkarsh aren't people that I know that much about.
They're brand new, and they've never played D&D
Well,
before.
Jonah Ra, I think this much D&D.
I meant the other two.
Yeah, the other two. My theory on Jonah Ra, and I don't know if he intended this or whatever, but I think he decided at some point he's basically playing, his character is Brian Posehn. The way he's acting is he's like that if that comedian were a medieval fantasy character.
Is he playing the character with the fishing pole?
With the fishing pole, the sort of chubby character with the fishing pole, because he's just talking about being lonely and horny and just the way he expresses himself sounds like Brian Posehn, who's sitting across from him. I'm just
that's pretty hysterical.
That's fucking. It's kind of like Mike playing Nate, in our game. It's exactly that.
Do you want to elaborate on that?
Yeah. So there is this.
Some of you guys know who Nate is.
Yeah. So Nate the Nerd. So there was this scrappy little dude. He was about 5'4", 5'5".
He's like half of Orion.
He was 120, maybe 100.
No, not even that big.
Yeah, 120 pounds. But anyway, so he rolled this character who was a thief back when the T word was politically correct, and or was that in 3rd edition? He was still a rogue. Was it 3rd?
No, we started in 2nd edition.
Okay, that game did start in 2nd edition. So yeah, he basically made a rogue, and he's like, yeah, I think I'm gonna just make him based off of Nate, except for I think the character had an 18 strength.
Yeah, because we were leaving them where they lie.
Yeah. We did 3d6, but ones counted as 6s as well, so it led for.
But you rolled straight
down, and you left them. And I think we also called our racing class prior too. So yeah, he went with a thief. And he rolled up an 18 strength, an 18 intelligence, and I think a 14 dex or something like that. And he's like, yeah, I'm
just gonna play a thief.
Yeah,
it's gonna be a thief, and I'm basing him off of Nate.
Yeah.
So that happened. That was a thing. That was kind of funny.
Yeah.
Do we have anything else on the list from the D&D live meltdown?
There was that spray painted mural that I guess if you're in the sort of Hollywood area, you could go check out.
We're not
anywhere near, but it's basically a big frost giant spray painted mural by an artist that they commissioned to do that. So it'll be on the side of Meltdown Comics for some time, some months probably.
Very cool.
Yeah. So I mean that's everything, but it was a lot.
We'll put the links below. Check it out. It was definitely cool. So put your comments down below while you're at it. Share.
Wait. Most important thing. The host was from Jersey, our home state.
Yeah, there we go.
Screw you guys.
Yeah.
All right, what were you saying?
Bring it home.
So, put your comments down below while you're at it. Like, share, even subscribe.
You can patronize us in a good way over on Patreon.
You can hang out with Sue on Facebook.
So until next time,
Stay nerdy.